Hey guys, let me know if the stream health is okay. I'm gonna type. How are you guys? I'm just gonna pull my notes up. And actually, let me put these back down. Hey guys, how are you? Let me know if you can see and hear me. Oh, okay. OBS is having issues. Okay. Are you guys, how's the stream health? Hey from Nashville. Buffering a bit, I know, Michael Griffin. That's why I usually come on a few minutes early. Just to see and to allow people to come in and for all the buffering to do what it's gonna do. Suzanne Stack, yes, I can now. Cheers from Alberta. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to visit you guys in Alberta. Do press on, a bit of buffering but manageable. Okay, I can do that. I just need to close this and reopen it again. I don't know why it's doing that. Greetings from Canada's West Coast. All right, guys. Miss Piggy, God bless you. Thank you, Miss Piggy. I love Miss Piggy. I used to watch the Kermit the Frog. What is it? The Muppets? What was it? Or was it Sesame? I used to watch all of that. Please tell us some good news. Well, we're here. We're together. That's good news. We're alive. We're healthy. I may unsubscribe. I don't get your situation, Godless. Okay, unsubscribe. Not sure what it is you want me to do. Beg? Hello from the UK. Hi, Space Hoper. Yes, the Muppets. Yeah, I love the Muppets. Yes, Nashville, Tennessee. Never been to Nashville. New Zealand. New Zealand. Maria. What are you guys doing with this crazy woman that you guys have? Maybe I shouldn't say that. What do you think of your leader there? Is it not Jacinda? She's something different, that woman. Yeah. Christian, I was hoping for the death of Islam. Well, I don't think we're going to live to see that. But the battle goes on. The battle continues. Captain Brandon, horror lover, The Muppet Show. I love their guest stars. Yeah, they, you know what? I don't know. Times were better, it seemed, back then. I could be wrong. Who knows? Hello from Grand Cayman. Oh, wow, Bob. Now I'm jealous. Now I'm seeing all you guys in these amazing, beautiful countries. None of anyone's business why I'm godless. I'm sorry. Rob379. That is a very inappropriate question. Do I ask anyone about their belief system and threaten to whatever, unsubscribe? Come on, guys. Please don't. Let's keep it, respectful, nice. I wanted to talk to you guys about my interview. I don't know if you guys watched it. I was interviewed by Laura-Lynn Thompson. And the interview was released, I believe yesterday it was released. And I just checked recently and it's up to like 7,000 views. So what do you guys, did you watch it? Do you have any questions about it? New Zealand is fast becoming an Islamic state. Well, that's a bit scary. What questions do you guys have for me with regards to that interview? And for what it's worth, I already discussed the topic of my name. Why I am an atheist, I'm not going to go into, because that's what I think you're asking. But if you're just asking about my name, I've already mentioned that. My name I chose because when I was abducted in Saudi Arabia by the religious police and detained with no reason, I was in solitary confinement for over 3 months, and the term that was constantly being used to humiliate me and shame me was Godless woman. So that's why I chose that name, if that was your question. Yo-Yo from Israel. Where in Israel are you? You know, that's one country. Now, when I was living in Saudi Arabia, we were banned from visiting Israel. And if you were to visit Israel and your passport showed it, there was like punishment. You'd get punished. But that's one country I would like to see. I definitely have plans to visit Israel. But we kind of have to get over this lockdown first. Suzanne Stack. She took on the name as a shield of victory against her abusers, oppressors. It has to do with her overcoming that evil and not about her faith. That's actually fairly true. That is very, very true. I'm not going to answer questions about my atheism. So the interview I did with Laura-Lynn, that was a lovely interaction with Laura-Lynn. I'm in deep gratitude to her for interviewing me, and I'm hopeful that my message reaches more people that I don't usually engage with on my own platforms. So I was wondering what you guys thought, what questions you had. Arnold Horan, awesome. My daughter and I love the interview. You complimented one another in your presentations. You know what? You're right. I noticed that. Even in our pictures, there was a significant contrast, I found. And then we have our own backgrounds, completely different backgrounds. And yet we were able to, you know, whatever. I love Laura-Lynn. I don't feel like I have any differences with her per se. But this is what I would love for us moving forward in this country. Put your differences aside. Enough, you know. We need to focus on what it is that unites us, and I keep saying this, not what divides us, which is why I don't like answering questions that people can use as a wedge between me and them, or, you know, whatever. There was definitely a lot of good chemistry in in my interview with Laura-Lynn. So thank you, I love it, and I learned so much watching the video with Laura. Thank you, Sarah Ash. I'm very happy for any feedback that you guys give me. Positive, negative, it doesn't matter. Because if there was something unclear, then I need to perfect my interviews going down the road. Blacksit Walkaway, 55 mosques in New Zealand. Many are ex-churches, 70,000 Muslims in New Zealand, large number for a small population. Yeah, I would say. Yeah, that's a lot of mosques. We're headed to that direction too here. P. Dirac, one godless woman, ignore the naysayers and disparaging remarks, not even worth responding to. I realize that, and I don't nitpick, and I don't try to cause fights, but there seems to be a lot of confusion when it comes to certain things about me. I don't know why. Perhaps I don't speak enough about me, and I speak more about other, you know, the problems in the Middle East, the women, Bruno, Habibi, Bruno. One thing I did another video today before I get into more topics about my interview with Laura-Lynn. I did a video today talking about the money, basically, that Trudeau was giving everyone. But something interesting happened. During my preparation to do that video, I was trying to find an article about how much money Trudeau, this article was just released like a few days ago, about how much money Trudeau just gave the WHO. The WHO, I used to follow, like as a physician, we are trained to always, follow the guidelines of the WHO. But I no longer do that because I have started to see very strange things coming out of the WHO. So Trudeau recently gave them a significant chunk of money, but that article is gone. So I don't know what happened there. Oh, one godless woman, you are amazing. Thank you for being so brave and warning us in the sleepy West. I'm doing my best. I really am. So back to the Trudeau thing. Here's a question for you guys. See, we are hot-blooded people in the Middle East. But Canadians, the man is raping your country, your tax dollars. What's left? You can't move now. Can't get out of your homes. Everyone's frightened of everything. What's left? What is needed for Canadians to do something? To go and revolt, to go and protest, to openly state this is wrong. What is required? 850 million. I found the article. Thank you for sharing that with me. Couldn't find that today at all. I searched everywhere. Don't know why. So 850 million was donated to the global pandemic fight. Okay. How do we know you are a physician? Okay, Rob379, I'm not going to respond to your questions anymore. I don't know. Don't know what to tell you. Go research. Go look me up through the I don't know. That's crazy. These questions are ridiculous. I'm not answering these. Sarah Ash, so here's in America too is happening what's happening in Canada. I understand that. You guys seem to have a lot of leftist puppets in different states, even though you do have Trump. Oral Powers, do you think millions of Muslims will move to the EU soon? I think millions have already moved. Isn't that the compact on migration? You are great. Love your channel. Thank you. You know what? I take it back. Let me tell you my medical background. But even me saying it won't mean anything to you. So I graduated high school in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in 1994. When I graduated high school, I had two options, either dentistry or medical school. I put the option number 1, dentistry, and I submitted it to King Saud University. Go look it up. It's in Riyadh. King Saud University. Then I went home, got a beating, went back, changed the application for medicine to go in first. I was accepted into medicine. There was about 70 of us that were accepted into medicine in King Saud University. I started med school. The first 3 years of med school, you have to go to this is hilarious. You're gonna love this. The female medical school for the first 3 years, because we don't start our clinical rotations. The first 3 years are in a separate building. That building is right next to the women's prison in Saudi Arabia. You can look it up if you don't believe me, in Riyadh. And went there for 3 years. And then after we finished our first 3 years, we started our rotations through the hospitals. The first hospital that's why you have beautiful teeth. Anyway, rotated through a whole bunch of hospitals. Started with the actual King Saud University, the hospital that is attached to that. Rotated through Shumaisi Hospital, which is also inside of Riyadh, and then continued on until I graduated. And when I graduated, This guy is ridiculous. I'm not even gonna talk anymore. What do we search for? We have no name. He wants my full name. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother. Anyway, and then I graduated med school in around, I believe it was 1994 when I graduated med school. I applied for my residency training in the King Fahad National Guard Hospital in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where I was accepted into anesthesia training. Shortly after that, I sat my medical qualifying exams and I applied for a scholarship through the King Fahad National Guard Hospital. My papers were accepted in Nova Scotia in the QE2, as well as in Ottawa, the Ottawa General Hospital. I came here in 2003. Early on, I was interviewed in both these hospitals. I was accepted in both. And then I finally decided to come and train in Halifax, Nova Scotia. That's my medical background. Enjoy it. You can do whatever research you want. Other than that, I'm not going to give any personal information about my name. What else do you guys have for me? I see now even Bill Maher recently made a video scolding people to quit being so juvenile about their irrational COVID-19 fears. Yeah, well, you know what? I can't anymore. Like, I just can't with this COVID-19. And the province I'm in is very left-leaning. Extremely. Actually, far left, I would say. And people now they're broken. People, I go outside and I see broken people. It's not pleasant to go outside. People are frightened. People are like very scared. They are hostile towards you. I mean, like this whole arrows and whatnot in the stores and people jumping meters away from other people onto the roads, the oncoming cars when they pass by them. We've entered now panic, like mass hysteria. So no, I'm not engaging in. Then people are yelling at people to follow, the arrows. I keep saying this to people. Like, first of all, we've gone through, when I came to Canada in 2003, I was working in the hospital during the SARS epidemic. None of this was done. So this is a completely new territory for me. In my medical training as a physician, dealing with pandemics and infectious diseases, we don't behave this way. So I don't know what this is. This is essentially mass hysteria. And it's jumping from one person to the next because that's the way mass hysteria behaves. Yeah, so, and you've seen the videos that are coming out right now. Sorry, I know we're talking about COVID instead of my interview with Laura-Lynn, but just because the topic is going that way. Good evening to all from the UK. Hi, Assyrian King, how are you? So, COVID-19, you've seen the videos that are coming out of different physicians, and the videos are being removed. These are people who are experts in their fields that are putting out these videos, and YouTube is removing them. Is YouTube physician based? Are they doctors? Are they specialists? Why are we ignoring the actual science and following bureaucracy and propaganda? This is completely unscientific. The arrows on the floor, the social distancing, where is the empirical evidence to prove that this works? Why are we all blindly following this like sheep? That's my issue. I'm looking at this as a physician, not, and a normal human being. It's a fake virus pushed by fake news. Yo-yo123. I don't think it's a fake virus. I've seen enough evidence to show that this virus is real. It's just not killing people in the numbers that are being told to us. There's a lot of conflation. There's a lot of confusion going on. The virus itself is, yes, it's unique to the human race. Yes, it's highly contagious. But the mask, like even during SARS, we weren't necessarily wearing regular face masks. The people that are walking around covered up in these face masks, guys, face masks don't help you if you're healthy. Unless you're wearing a specifically designed face mask that states that the virus cannot penetrate it, it's useless. If it will only stop the vector from spreading, if you're sneezing, if you're coughing, if you're actually physically sick, that's when you wear a face mask. People who are healthy wearing face masks, illogical. This is a fad now. That's how I see face masks. I don't wear them, and I'm the one with the medical training. Now, with, oh, sorry, there's a lot going on in the chat. Assyrian King, thank you, my lovely lady. I'm getting you some interviews both in the UK and in Ireland. And I did get your emails, Assyrian. It's been crazy busy. Vitamin D, yes, vitamin D. Oh my gosh, I read an article. What did I read? An article it was an article put out by the government of Canada saying, I'm not kidding you, it said the following. It said nothing is going to help you, to help stop you from contacting this virus. Nothing you can eat or have in your diet is going to strengthen your immunity. This was an article, I have to find it. Maybe I'll find it and link it to this live stream. This is the government putting out this information. How is this logical, guys? Let's say you have no science background whatsoever. Does this sound right to you? Or does this sound like doom and gloom? Does this not sound like propaganda? Nothing you can do will stop you from getting this virus. Can you imagine your government telling you this? You have to stay at home. You can't go out. And nothing you can do will stop it. What is this? And then you're walking down the street and people are doing this when you pass by them. Seriously? Like, that's not offensive, guys. This is scientific. Doing that is science-based. Jumping onto the road to oncoming traffic is science-based. That's how yelling at someone who is within close proximity to you in a store is science-based. Telling them to social distance? Present me the science. I want to see it, because I haven't seen it yet. In fact, everything I've read shows that this doesn't help. Locking yourself at home decreases your immunity. Stripping your skin of its normal bacterial flora by constantly using hand sanitizer decreases your immunity and allows you to get sick quite quick. So that's where I'm at with all of this. Plus the fact that the security guard at Sobeys or at the liquor store is not an infectious disease specialist. And I will not take orders from this person. Because unlike them, I actually hold a medical degree. And I know all of this. And like I said, I not only worked in a hospital setting during SARS, but I also traveled during SARS. And I don't know where you guys were when SARS happened. Do you remember any of this? What about the swine flu? Do you remember any of this? Do you remember a full-blown economic shutdown and people yelling at you in the store if you came too close to them? I want to hear it. Because I was in Canada during these times and none of this happened. Yes, there was, people talking here and there, but none of this happened. This is very new. Sorry, I agree. It is just so insane. Well, it's insane, but what are we gonna do about it? Do you know that many stores in the USA are requiring... I've actually seen videos. I follow Candace Owens. I don't know if you guys know who she is. Hopefully you do. But Candace Owens was approached by a police officer. I don't know where she was, in a store, some store. And the police officer ran to her with a face mask. Can you imagine? This is the role of the police right now. and told her, you have to put this on. And when she said no, she said, you either leave or I will put it on for you. Come on, guys. This is getting a bit too much now. Ed Fedina. Oh, sorry. I bought 4 passes for your event in Calgary, Alberta. Even if you can't make it, the money will go to support you and your cause. I'm gonna make it. I'm coming out to Alberta. I'm just waiting. It seems provinces can't get their shit together right now. The province I'm in, they said for the next little while, this is our new norm. They won't give us dates. They won't give us anything. So I don't know what's going on in Alberta, the different provinces. Like, we have to open up at least the pathways to travel for me to get out of here and go to Alberta, which I want to do. So hold on to your tickets. Don't throw them out. And thank you. Rob K. Candace Owens is great. You should see if she would interview you. I don't think I'm that big of a fish just yet for Candace Owens. Captain Brandon Harlover. I also love how non-PC she is. She is. She's a bit harsh, I find sometimes, at least for Canada. I get why she can rub people the wrong way. She's all about the truth and honesty, and that's fine. That's fine. She's more like Trump. I can't find my virology and immunology textbooks. Where are they? I don't know. But basic immunology, virology, infectious disease goes against everything that's being done, guys. Everything. Like, I honestly don't know what to say. I worked in a lab, a level 4 lab, and we were dealing, and I believe Ebola requires level 5. I could be mistaken. But I was in a level 4 laboratory dealing with Ebola. And even these measures weren't taken. This fear, this craziness, we didn't do it. You just wore what you had to wear and you dealt with the virus. You examined it, right? And if you got sick, you got sick. What are you going to do? We are not meant to live forever. And we're not meant to stay healthy forever. Eventually, we will get sick. Eventually, we will die. You can't stop these things, guys. So I don't know what this is. This is very strange for me. Why don't you... on the Candace Owens comment, you guys message her. You guys in the States, message Candace Owens. Tell her to invite me over for a talk. Sarah Ash, you both are courageous women and brave and speak up the way it is. Well, I mean, for me, here's something else I would like to tackle. Should average males go into hiding? Nobody should go into hiding. Nobody. I think we just need to behave normal in public. Right now, nobody's behaving normal in public. When I go outside, I'm smiling. I'm not wearing gloves, not wearing a mask. And, whoever wants to crap all over me because I don't do this can. But I know health, I know science, and I know infectious disease, and none of these measures are guaranteed. None. So you can wrap yourself up in a bubble, and the virus will still find its way to you. The virus is not as deadly to the younger populations, to the population that does not have a poor immune system. The majority of the population will survive this virus. It is the elderly, the people in nursing homes, the people with immune system problems, and the people with coexisting comorbidities. They are the ones that need to shelter. Healthy people should be functioning fine in society. All right, Assyrian King. It has been an announcement from European Union that they are getting people in the EU army between 16 to 23. Which people who now losing their job will be in the army? I don't know. It's an interesting thing, though, that's happening. Have you met Ed Fedina? Have you met Sandra Solomon or know who she is? I know Sandra Solomon. I've not met her. I don't live in the same area that she's in. We sort of have different platforms. Our platforms haven't really interacted yet. Are you an agnostic? Okay. So what was it? There was a comment that was just said that I wanted to talk about. Maria Allen, that sounds a lot like coercion to me. You'll only give money if she gives you her name. It sounds like she needs her anonymity to protect her identity. Don't respond to Rob379. That's, I don't know why that person is here. Kali Sab, watching you from Saudi Arabia. All love. Oh my gosh, how are you? Where are you in Saudi Arabia? Tell me, Kali. Have you visited Riyadh? What's Riyadh like now? Zain, Kreider, they are pushing a mad rush to the bottom. All societies that have been slaughtered by tyrannical governments have said the same thing in hindsight. The warning signs were there. The warning signs are there. They are here. And I try not to I try not to read too many comments. كالي صعب اسمك ايه يا كالي؟ على فكرة بيكرهوني في السعودية عشان بتكلم مصري. أنا برضو بتكلم سعودي لكن بكره السعودي. Sorry, I spoke Egyptian again, guys. I know people don't like it when I speak Egyptian. Kay Smolders, what can we do as Canadians to have an effect on our current situation with guns and COVID and government overspending? And it goes on and on. You gotta revolt. Gotta revolt. You guys gotta find a way. You have to unite first, though. Canadians aren't united, like I said. Kali Sab, I'm in Jeddah. At the moment, most places closed and we are staying at home. Everything is delivery. Well, my dear, have you visited رحت الرياض ولا لسه؟ زرت الرياض? Anyway, I'm half Egyptian, half Saudi, guys. I really have to keep pointing this out and stressing on it. I enjoy speaking Egyptian much more than I ever enjoyed speaking Saudi, and I'll explain why. Kali Sab, nah, I'm Saudi and I don't hate you. Everybody got their own point of view in life. Thank you, honey. That's good. That's good. Clearly things have changed a little bit in Saudi Arabia, because this wasn't the mentality when I was there at all, by anyone. Now, mind you, Jeddah ghair. Jeddah's different, right? Jeddah's more open. Space Hoper Mark, I'm already subscribed. Thank you. I really appreciate your support, guys. Recognize that you are dealing with an what was I reading? An invasive species, something much like cancer. That's true. I actually like that word. I watched, oh my gosh, the comments. It was a few days ago. I watched a video by Dr. John Campbell on vitamin D and immunity. I liked it and recommended it. Okay, good. Okay, so when I was in Saudi Arabia, guys, ask me questions specifically about that interview, because there was a lot of comments on the interview with Laura-Lynn, but I couldn't really respond to every comment, so I decided to do this live stream. But there's this issue about me speaking Saudi and then speaking Egyptian. My mother is Egyptian. I lived in Egypt. I owned property in Egypt. Egypt is my home. I consider it my home. In Saudi Arabia, there was a significant amount of bigotry, tribalism, and racism against people who didn't speak Saudi. Oral Power, what can you tell us about Mecca? Talk about Mecca. I have never visited Mecca, unfortunately. Mecca's difficult. When I was in Saudi Arabia, I don't know if the rules have changed, but when I was in Saudi Arabia, women couldn't go to Mecca on their own. You needed a mahram, you needed a male guardian, and nobody wanted to go anywhere with me. So I just never actually visited, but it's the holiest part of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia prides itself in the two holy mosques, right? Mecca and Medina. يا ريت لو أشوفك مرة واحدة بس حبيبتي. Bruno. يلا تعال لكندا. Come to Canada, my dear. So where was I? In the school, I went to a private school in Saudi Arabia. It was designed, the school was created by the king himself. It was King Fahad during that time. And that school was designed for all of the royals. So the princesses went to the male part of that school, and I went to the female with all the female princesses. And though they segregated us from the royals would engage frequently with me and tell me, oh my God, you speak Egyptian? Why are you speaking Egyptian? You know, it was just awful. And it was just constant shaming and berating and putting you down because you spoke a different dialect. Because it's still Arabic, right? It's just a different dialect. So I just preferred Egyptian. I like to rub it in. This forcing me to speak Saudi had negative impacts on me. So that's why I like Egyptian, and I also like to troll the morons who think that I'm a fraud because I speak Egyptian. Not sure how those two things relate. How are things in Saudi Arabia? To the people who are watching me in Saudi Arabia, how have things changed? Can you tell me about the religious police? Where are they? Are they still terrorizing you guys in the streets, or have they been sort of pushed back into their hiding places? Because my understanding is the religious police exists still in Saudi Arabia. They just don't have the authority to terrorize people in public anymore. Is that right? All right, sorry, I'm ignoring the questions. To Iman, it's all about the tribe. It's all about the tribal, regarding which in here, the Western countries aren't aware of it. Seriously. Well, I worry. I worry for the West right now. Are you going to have a follow-up interview with Laura-Lynn? If she asks me, I'll be more than happy, yes. Suzanne Stack, I look forward to supporting Laura-Lynn and her peers in the next election. I don't think it'll be the PPC party, though. I hope they start a new party. I don't know what's going on with all of that. There were some comments under the interview I did with Laura-Lynn about PPC. Of course, mostly negative, unfortunately. But I don't know what's going on with PPC. I really, really, truly do not. Rob K, to me, the azan is how the mosques say all that can hear the call is under spiritual control of the mosque and political control of Sharia law. Well, I've previously said that mosques are not houses of worship. I've said this. Should Christians leave the Middle East? No. Why should Christians leave? No. The Christians need to do more in the Middle East to change things. They need to push. Kali Saab, there has to be an international law that protects everyone from countries that are part of international economy. Otherwise, conservative countries shouldn't be part of anything international. I'm not sure what that means, Kali. Religious police are no longer in effect. What does that mean? What does that mean, that they are no longer in effect? Who's running the courts? Who's running the courts right now? Because it was them. Majlis al-Shura? Who's there? Egyptian is considered... Oops. Oh my gosh, I keep losing you guys. Egyptian is considered more Fusha? What's Fusha? Are you aware of Bill Warner? Yes, I am. I love Bill Warner. I follow his channel. Bruno, and I'm in Toronto. Welcome, my dear. I have some connections in Toronto. Who knows? Maybe I'll go to Toronto soon. I don't know. Should this lockdown ever end? So I talked about why I speak Egyptian, and I hope you guys put this argument to rest. That I speak Egyptian, that I'm some kind of fraud. That makes completely nonsense. Absolute nonsense. And the other thing I wanted to discuss with you guys is rejecting the broadcasting of call to prayer is not hate. It's not hate. I'm allowed to have an opinion. You know, the people who escaped Islamic dictatorships get terrorized by the call to prayer, because that's what happened to us. We were terrorized to pray. So accusing me and people like me who openly say we don't want to hear the call to prayer of hate is very weak, guys. And it really shows the lack of, first of all, compassion and the lack of understanding of anything that goes on in the Middle East. So please brush up on your Middle Eastern history before you come at us with accusations of hate. Please. That's all I ask. Because it doesn't even make you look good. We escaped Islamic dictatorships. And the white Canadians, the Canadian folk, not necessarily white, sorry. Canadian folk are telling us we're haters? Are you going to say that to the Yazidi women as well? Kali Saab. Oh, sorry. Let me explain what I mean. Saudi is part of international business. Example, the state is a major partner. However, the state doesn't get involved in the affair of Saudi. If a gay gets killed, nothing. Okay. Captain Brandon Horrorlover. Oh, don't even address those beliefs. Don't worry. It's not even me arguing back and forth. It's just trying to explain specific things. Unless, of course, we're talking about trolling. Trolls, it's incurable. Trolling is incurable. What else do you guys have for me? Victoria Winter. Are you a doctor? Me? I am. I'm not a practicing physician right now, but I am a doctor. Yes. I have my medical degree. I went to med school. I started my specialty training in Saudi Arabia. I trained in anesthesia for 3 years. And then I came to Canada and I trained in anesthesia for 4 years more. I quit in my 4th year just before the board exams were in my 5th year. That's when I left medicine. I was sexually assaulted. Another story. Oral powers. Christians will be persecuted in every country now, even to the point of death. Our faith and hope is in the living God. Well, that is true. Huge respect for Iman, and I stand with her with what she's doing. Thank you, Sarah. I really appreciate it, and I don't want you guys to think that I focus on negative comments. I don't. I appreciate your love. I appreciate your support. I try my best to focus on the support. But there's things that are very strange that I'm seeing, and I'm seeing them repeatedly. That's all. I'm trying to figure out how to say this to you guys. When I see people trying to shut down conversation, and I get that a lot, whether I'm speaking to my member of parliament, whether I'm speaking to my councillor, city councillor, whether I'm interacting with people online, or just having a discussion with friends, whoever, and they begin to throw accusations of hate, and you shouldn't do this, and this is wrong, and you need to shut up, and no. Here's the thing, guys. In Saudi Arabia, you had to stand idle. You had to stand by. You had to stand down as you were verbally, emotionally, mentally, and physically assaulted, if not terrorized, by religious authorities. They have even killed people in these hostile interactions with people. And there is nothing that you were allowed to do as a citizen, as not a member of the police or the religious police. There's nothing you could do to protect yourself or the people that you are with should they get harmed and should you get harmed. If you answered back to the religious authorities, they picked you up and literally threw you in their GMC and take you to prison. God knows what they did to you over there. If you beat them, if you physically responded back with action against them as they put their hands on you, there's a good chance you would get killed right then and there. Because they have police behind them, citizen police, civil, that are armed. And they take orders from the religious police. Do you guys want this here? Is this what you guys want? This is why people like me speak. And this is what the people who try to shut us up and call us names and accuse us of hate, this is what they are. Is this what they want for the West? Is this the kind of country that you want yourself, your family, your future children and grandchildren to live in? This is what I escaped, and this is essentially what is headed your way. If we don't stop all this now, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's going to happen. It'll take some years. But you saw how fast we've advanced since Trudeau took over. That's all I'm trying to prevent. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm not trying to get rich. I love the West. The West touched my heart from a very young age. And I am here to make sure that I can wake up as many people as I can to defend your country, guys. I'll take all the, I've even been told leave. If you don't want to stay, if you don't like the way Canada is, leave. You're behaving no different than the immigrants that are not conforming, that are not assimilating. I've assimilated, guys. I came here in 2003. It was difficult. It was significant culture shock for me. I went through phases of depression, but I learned and I assimilated and I appreciate your culture and I defend it now. I defend it more than you guys, some of you are doing. And somehow I am being told, because I'm an immigrant, well, you need to shut up. You really are complaining too much about Canada. Why? Why do you choose that path? Why do you say that? Why do you not take what I'm saying as someone who saw horror? And this horror is now headed here. And I'm trying to warn you guys. It really breaks my heart sometimes. Some of the responses I get from Canadians, and I know some of you are very well-meaning, and you truly don't understand. You're confused by everything. So I try. I really try. I'm not here to do anything to spread hate, to harm, and to divide Canadians. I keep saying I want us to put our differences aside and to unite. But we have to find this element to unite over. Kali Saab, one day I will see you in Canada. Sounds good to me. Captain Brandon Harlover, you're responding to that person. Oral Powers, what do you think will be the next great empire? China, Russia, the EU, or the Middle East? I don't know. China's really pushing hard though. The interesting thing is China and Islamists hate each other. Communism in Islam is called Sharia. Sharia was something that I remember repeatedly being told is terrible and we must destroy. So it'd be interesting to see the two powers, Islamism and communism, come ahead and face each other. Kali Saab, I don't think Canada will ever be like Saudi. Come on now. Listen, my dear, never say never. What was Iran in the 70s? Do you remember? Kali, what did Iran look like in the early 70s? And what does it look like today? That's my response to that. Assyrian King. Oh no, he's responding to someone else. Danielle, never shut up about the precious values of Western society. I will never. Like I said, the Western values touched me at a very, very young age when I couldn't really understand much but freedom. I saw the Western women. I lived in England and I saw beautiful British women. And then I moved to Saudi Arabia. The other example for you, Kali, is Bosnia, my dear. Go look at who's in control in Bosnia right now and what Bosnia was like. early on, before all this happened. All right. What else? What other questions do you guys? I'm covering a lot of the stuff that I wanted to talk to you about. Let's go back to questions. Janice Schmidt. If I have to choose between... Oh, where did it go? If I have to choose between China and Islam, I choose China. I don't know if either is better than the other. I don't know. You've got two fairly horrific, oppressive forces coming head to head here. And, oops, Patrick K. Whenever I post anything against what is happening with this call to prayer garbage, I also get viciously verbally attacked, get called racist, bigot, unchristian. Unchristian? How is not wanting to hear that unchristian? Oh my gosh, the accusations. Again, with the accusations, it's like, let's throw as many accusations as we can, regardless if they make sense or not. So how are you guys going to get out of this mess we're in? And what do you think of Trudeau handing over money to the WHO and vaccines? What do you guys think of all this money? What else did I read today about Trudeau? What did he say? He doesn't think the budget will ever be balanced, and he's not really sure about the finances in Canada or something like that. I'm like, there's a leader for you. What do you guys think of that? I'm like, could the man get any more clueless? And this whole thing where he stood and he's asking mothers to leave the room so he can speak to their children. What the hell is that? I hope you guys didn't allow him to sit in a room alone, even through a monitor with your children. That was creepy. That creeped me out. What was that about? Space Hopper Mark, both are communists. What is the UAE doing in Libya? I don't know what the UAE is doing in Libya. They're in Libya now. Oh, the whole Muslim Brotherhood thing has gotten out of control. The Middle East is just... The Middle Eastern countries are trying to eject the Muslim Brotherhood out. Unfortunately for us, the Muslim Brotherhood has a direct path to Canada right now. Vitamin D. Vitamin D. Who's asking about vitamin D? Vitamin D is... well, you can get it through the sun. I'm sure you know that. I did a video about vitamin D. I hope YouTube didn't take it out, but unlike what the Canadian government is telling you, please start taking vitamin D in mega doses, up to like 10,000 international units you can take. You can actually buy the pills in 10,000 international units. Like you can take one pill, that's 10,000. And what vitamin D is done, so SARS and this COVID thing is very focused on lung. It causes a cascade in your immune system that leads to flooding. It's called a cytokine storm. It floods your lungs. Vitamin D has been shown through research to stop all this. It protects your lungs. And it also has antiviral properties. Not sure to which viruses, I don't think they specified, but how is it hurting you to sit in the sun without sunscreen for 10 minutes or to take 10,000 international units of vitamin D? When the Canadian government put out an article saying nothing you can do or take will help, that's fairly horrific to say to people. That's basically saying give up on life. Please don't. Take vitamin D, take it in big doses, because as you know, people who live in northern latitudes, we're not exposed to sun. We are almost universally deficient, all of us, in vitamin D. DNA, vitamin D or D3, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just the labeling is different. It gets converted in your body. Take vitamin D3, I think is what is sold in the stores. Okay? D3. Victoria Winter, I don't take orders from the devil. Okay. That's good. Donna, A UVB light from a pet store will also work for humans? It's a fraction of the cost of lights designed for humans. I don't know. I really don't know. Don't know about that. I like the sun, as you know, as little of it that we get in Canada, but I try to make sure that I get under the sun. Are there any side effects of vitamin D? That's fairly easy to look up. I don't think what was one of the side effects of vitamin D, but this was mostly in children. I think it keeps them up at night or something. Fairly easy enough to find side effects of vitamin D. Just try to go to like WebMD, some sort of medical website, and look it up. I can't recall it off the top of my head, but almost everything has side effects. Very little stuff that we eat or take or use doesn't. You just need to see, is this side effect something you can handle or not, kind of thing. Deborah, I remember a CTV news announcement years ago that told us we should take vitamin D because we don't get enough exposure to the sun. Yes, exactly. That is very correct, and that is very scientific. That's science-based. It's been proven through research. A quick search on any search engine will throw a whole bunch of research studies at you with regards to vitamin D. You can pick through them, you can examine the methodology as much as you want, and follow the research that you feel is best. The research that I produced in the video that I did about vitamin D was fairly good. The methodology was sound, and it was a good sampling. Bye, Captain Brandon Harlover. Sounds like you're done. Anything else for me, guys? Any pressing issues, any questions before I wrap it all up? Let me know. Fairly certain I discussed everything I wanted to talk. I am very happy that you guys are supporting my work and following it, and I am very grateful for you. Islam is binary, either their way or the highway. Well, yes, Islam is supremacist. And this is what you have to deal with when you're dealing with supremacist ideologies, right? Rob K, the biggest side effect is death? To what? Vitamin D? That's funny. Thank you, Ronald Pickett. Keep up the good. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I guess we'll be finishing up. Any last questions? Checked again, not available? What's not available? Assyrian King. What did you check? Good luck. All right, guys. Oh, Kelly Sab, I would love to donate huge sums of money to you, but I fear getting caught and jailed. Don't donate huge sums of money, my dear. Whatever you want to donate, small amounts. I don't want to, don't worry. Thank you, though. I really appreciate it. Oh, the side effect of Islam is death. That's funny. Okay. Bone pain, muscle weakness, fatigue, cardiovascular disease. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching me today. I look forward to more streams with you. Have a lovely